Are you an American? Well, chances are, if you're watching the Above It All broadcast or this video clip and you don't even know what that means, you are probably an American, but you might not be. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. According to this, most Americans just aren't into their jobs, new Gallup data shows. Are you an American? When you wake up, are you thinking, God damn, son of a bitch, I got to work again? Because if so, everyone else has the same point of view. Let's check this out, okay. As Americans enter the third year of the pandemic, it's actually the fourth year. I don't know, these dumbass motherfuckers at NBC News. They forgot how to count. The third year as Americans enter was this article written a year ago? It's the fourth fucking year, bro. Whatever. Okay, whatever. Most workers just aren't into their jobs, with nearly 3/4 saying they're either not engaged or are actively disengaged at work, according to a new Gallup poll. The findings, which classify 50% of respondents as not engaged. Only 50%? Really? And another 18% is actively disengaged. I see. Okay, so 15% are just neutral. 18% are like, fuck this, man. That's a lot of cucks, though. I mean, let's talk about the 50% that are not engaged. Like, this is what we call cuck mindset. This is the cuck mindset. Like, you don't really care about it. You're not really that into it. But, like, you're somehow okay with the situation, right? This is the beta mindset. 18% that are actively disengaged. I respect that. You go to work and you're thinking, right? Like, yeah, fuck that job. That job sucks. Right, so maybe if you don't like your job, you're plotting a way to get out. You're gonna change course, but 50% just have the cuck mindset. They're like, yeah, I'm a wage slave, and you know what? Whatever. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm sitting here on my stupid ass fucking dumb podcast talking about that, but hey, whatever. As employees increasingly feel their workplaces are abandoning the flexibility and empathy that characterized many pandemic-era workplaces. So we're entering the third year. It's actually the fourth year, and then we're using the past tense on pandemic. I don't what is even going on here? Okay. Quote, when the pandemic first hit, engagement peaked. People feeling their organization cares about their well-being peaked. So there was a really nice response from organizations early on. And since then, it's dropped off significantly. I don't know why I'm giving this guy like the proto-Trump voice. Jim Harder, chief scientist. I mean, this guy sounds pretty good. Workplace management, blah, blah, blah. Only 32% of American workers say they were engaged at work the last year. Down from an all-time high of 36% in 2020. Yo. Okay, so they make a big deal about this. Hold the phone here. Hold the phone, okay? Hold the fucking phone. So they make a big deal about the pandemic era, which apparently we're no longer in. They lost count of how many years it's been, by the way. But the pandemic era was so good to workers. And the delta is 4%. Okay, so I love this. Okay. Only 32% of American workers said they were engaged at work last year, down from an all-time high of 36%. Like, that's not an all-time high. I mean, I guess it is, but like I would not use the phrase all-time high. I love, and again, engagement peaked, people feeling their organization. We're talking about a delta of 4% here. All right, Jim Harder, glad I used the Trump voice on you, motherfucker. Engagement peaked? Really? People felt their organization cares about the well-being peaked? I mean, 4%. That's nothing. That's the margin of error, my friends. Like, what is that? Okay. 4%, okay. Only 32% of Americans said they were engaged at work last year, down from an all-time high of 36% in 2020 and 34% in 2021. The data shows Gallup has been formally tracking employee engagement since 2000, Harder said. And as engagement decreased, the percentage of workers who are actively disengaged increased from 14% in 2020 to 16 to 18. I mean, again, we're talking about a lot of people in the middle with that cuck mindset. They're like, I mean, this is what happens when you have a whole country that's founded on childhood trauma and like neglect and parental abuse, right? Is like you grow up in a country where, you know, spanking is normalized. And I'm not talking about the good kind of spanking, you know. I wish spanking was normalized in that fashion. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it already is. But hey, you know, we grow up in a country where like beating the shit out of kids is a regular thing. The teacher beats the shit out of you. Your parents beat the shit out of you. Your big brother beats the shit out of you, right? Then you go to work. And then your boss is beating the shit out of you, but like, you know, making you work 5 days in a row with no breaks, you know. It's that cuck mindset that we're trained for in this country to just get wailed on and just like, yeah, whatever, neutral, you know, just doing my thing, man, just living my life. Like, your life fucking sucks. 50% of workers say that they're neutral on engagement. Like, you're just okay with being abused. The default in this country is abusing the shit out of workers. And if you're okay with that, that again is the cuck mindset. You have been trained to be a beta male. Like, you got to break that shit, okay? Like, I'm just saying. Like, I work for myself and I still hate my job. I hate my fucking boss. Ugh. This is why I'm suicidal all the time. Hi, Max. We got a doggy here. Check this out. Look at this. Hi, Max. Look at this. Oh, boy. Where are we? Workers who are actively disengaged are disgruntled and disloyal because most of their workplace needs are unmet, according to Gallup. Oh, shit. The rate of people who classify themselves as not engaged, more recently known as quiet quitters. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Quiet quitting. What does that mean? Quiet quitting is called you don't give your 2 weeks notice and you just don't show up to work. That's quiet quitting. Doing your job and keeping your job, how is that quiet quitting? Can someone explain to me what the fuck this is? Like, now again, you know, maybe I'm the weird one for knowing how the English language fucking works, but last time I checked, doing your job is not quitting. Quitting is quitting. And if you're quitting and it's quiet, presumably it means you didn't tell anyone that you quit. You stopped showing up to work. You didn't hand in your 2 week notice, whatever the fuck. That's quiet quitting. Quiet quitting is not going to work every day and doing your job. How the fuck is that quiet quitting? You know? Now, they describe it as doing the bare minimum, you know, just getting by. But, like, also known as doing your job. Like, there is no bare minimum when it comes to working a job where you get paid the same every day regardless. Why would you work above and beyond if you get paid the same every day? Now, if someone is working on commission, that's a different situation, but most people don't work in that fashion. So again, the idea that we're going to call going to work and doing your job quiet quitting, I mean, anyone who says that and means that and doesn't understand that this is the dumbest phrase in the history of the planet, I mean, again, I don't even know where to begin. It's just so fucking goddamn stupid. Going to work and doing your job, you're basically quitting. Like, all right. Whew. Down from 52% in 2019. Whoa. These workers are getting some of their workplace needs met, but not very many. And they're more likely to show up to work to do the minimum required and not much else. That's called doing your job. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I'm sorry to harp on this one, but this one really, I mean, it blows my mind, okay? There is no minimum at work, right? If you want to have a pretend world where there's like a range or a spectrum, right? You have to be willing to pay that range or spectrum. If someone does like 13% more work on one day, they deserve to be paid 13% more, maybe even 15% more, make it exponential, right? Okay, let me just put it this way. Let me phrase this in a different way. Anyone who goes to work and does anything other than the bare minimum is a loser. They're a loser, okay? Like, you're a loser. You're a weird nerd. You're a loser. You're a drone. You're a zombie. Again, it's the cuck mindset. You love being taken advantage of, and somehow you get off on it. I don't know. Like, seriously. Like, we're talking about a monstrosity of a loser. We're talking about the biggest losers that have ever been showing their faces on planet Earth. You go to work and do extra work for nothing. Like, what? I give you a bunch of extra labor. I receive nothing. Like, I'm serious. Like, what? Like, that's called being a loser. So anyone who doesn't quote unquote quiet quit is a loser. Fact. I'm sorry. If that triggers you, maybe stop being a fucking loser. I don't know what to tell you, okay? The research firm measures engagement by asking questions about productivity, well-being, workplace environment, and values and opportunities for growth, among others. The new report is based on the average results of random quarterly surveys completed last year by about 15,000 adults employed full-time and part-time, the categories in which workers saw getting some acid reflux. All right, where was I? Connection to the mission or purpose of the company, opportunities to learn and grow, clarity of expectations and feelings cared about at work. Healthcare workers were the hardest hit among the 4 types of jobs included in the survey, which also included production, frontline, white collar, and administrative clerical workers, facing a 7% decrease in engagement and about 6% increase in quiet quitting. Again, there is no such thing as quiet quitting. Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't exist. So anyway, you can read the rest of this. But turns out Americans don't like their jobs. Really, they don't. So, wow. Who would have fucking thunk? When you go to work for a corporation that doesn't give a fuck about you, you might not give a fuck about them. Is that possible? Like, I mean, why is it... You know, again, chalk this up in the shit that we don't even really need to spend any money tracking kind of category. What the fuck? So you're like, again, it's that cuck mindset. Okay, so you go to work and someone's beating the shit out of you, right? And you're like, yes, master, please, master. Like, I'm sorry, man. That's the cuck mindset. I don't know what to tell you. You're a loser. You're a loser if you do that. If you are anything but a quote unquote quiet quitter, which by the way doesn't exist, then you're a loser. So there's 2 categories: quiet quitter and loser. Those are the only 2 categories. So anyway, assuming you're working for someone else, if you're self-employed or if you're started your own company or organization or whatever, that's a different story. But Jesus fucking goddamn Christ, man. Holy shit. We got a lot of losers in this country. I read this poll and I'm thinking, like, there's like 30% of the workforce that are fucking losers. They're just losers, man. This is why we can't get a general strike going on, because we got too many fucking losers. Hey, whatever.